Poland is a country with many faces. It can delight you with its natural beauty, amaze you with its modernity, or interest you with its rich history. The busy streets of the big cities are full of life, and majestic nature can soothe your troubled nerves. In the last few decades, Poland has undergone an unprecedented metamorphosis and has become a possibility for many countries. Discover the stories of people who left their homeland and chose Poland as their new home. What did they expect? What did they discover? What made them so determined to stay here? Our heroes will answer these questions. Immigrants from all over the world who built their new lives in Poland. Kraków was the second historical capital of Poland for over 700 years. Today it is one of the most popular destinations for tourists from all over the world. It's the country's academic hub and a mecca for all types of activists. It is this very city that our hero has chosen as his place on Earth.
Hello, my name is Michael Rubenfeld. I'm from Canada, and I've been living in Krakow for 9 years. So this is the theater where I'm going to be performing tonight. And my newest play, Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, is performing. So I'm here, about to get ready to perform. Come and join me. This is the lobby of the theater, and this is where the audience will gather before they go into the theater. The dressing room's over there, and I'm going to take my shirt there. Now, see you soon. My journey to Poland actually started with a piece of theater, believe it or not. I was making a play with my mother. And the idea for the play was that my mother and I, who had been raised to hate Poland because of what happened to our family here, which is a very similar story for a lot of Jews who are descendants of Holocaust survivors. And I had this idea that the problems in the relationship that I had with my mother might be solved if we tried to also resolve some of the problems we had to the place that we were from. Because I had always had this feeling as if I wasn't actually from Poland, or my family or my people weren't actually from Poland. And a lot of Jews have this similar feeling. But the reality is that our family were living in Poland. And I said to my mother, you know, we have some problems. And maybe we can try to fix some of those problems by fixing some of our problems with Poland. And my mother agreed. And so we came to Poland. And along the way, at some point in this journey to get to Poland, I met my now wife, Magda.
I got invited to a Jewish conference called Limud. It's a highly democratic model for creating educational events. Michael came from Toronto to discuss his art project, which he planned to create with his mother, focusing on a symbolic return to their Polish roots.
Którą miał wykonać ze swoją mamą, dotyczącą takiego symbolicznego powrotu do Polski, gdzie są ich korzenie.
I even laugh a little when I think about how, at first, I didn't really like him. He seemed a bit too confident. But then he won me over when he started talking about his art. I realized that his art always tackles important topics, is very interesting, socially engaged, and aims to create change in reality. I think I've always had an activist spirit within me, so it spoke to me, and I began to listen to him more carefully. And from there, that's how things progressed. Michael's life is like an artistic project. He transforms reality through his art and through himself.
I thought, wow, this woman's really quite amazing. And, you know, we had a fling. We were staying in the same house in Montreal, so it was very funny. We were like sneaking around together. We had some reviewer yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah? I don't know.
I didn't talk to Gabi. I wonder what Gabi's family thought.
I don't know.
She didn't say anything.
I didn't talk to her. Yesterday because we didn't meet finally.
You didn't see her there?
No, because she wanted to come there, but later, and then and I left earlier, so I don't know.
This is what happens when you work with children. The children. They want to start their night at 11 p.m. Just when we're ready to go to bed.
For us, it's too late.
Michael and I met at the first rehearsal for the Altenheim show Old House by Marcin Wierzchowski and Michael.
Marcina Wierzchowskiego I Michaela.
It was in Poznan over 2 years ago.
2 lata temu.
When we met there, Michael and I started talking about why, whenever something about Jews is being made in Poland, it comes across so serious and sad. And we thought maybe we could create something funny.
I że może zrobilibyśmy coś zabawnego.
We made the decision together to do something crazy, something satirical and funny, something we could laugh at.
Coś, w czym moglibyśmy się pośmiać.
Stał się najgorętszym, najbardziej zdeterminowanym sojusznikiem izraelskich Żydów, jakiego widział świat.
With my play Jeszcze Polsko nie zginęła, it's a pretty controversial play, depending on who the audience is. The play imagines a Polish reality in the future where Israel has been destroyed and 3 million Jewish refugees have returned to Poland from Israel. And Maciej Sztur is the president of Poland. And he famously converted to Judaism in a reality.
Niedługo staniemy się jedną wielką rodziną.
No tak, może przedstawmy się, powiedzmy coś o sobie.
Świetny pomysł. Zacznij.
Dziękuję, dobra, dziękuję. Dzień dobry, dobry wieczór. Hej, hello, cześć. Mam na imię Michael, jestem Żydem.
Z obu stron?
Tak. Urodziłem się w Kanadzie, ale mam polskie korzenie. Moja babiczka pochodzi około godzina od Krakowa, Wolbromia. Znasz, tak? Ty znasz, tak? But I know a lot of people in Canada, and they all think I've lost my mind. Often. Not everyone, of course, but people just can't believe what I'm doing, because I was quite known in the theater in Canada. I was running big festivals and people knew who I was. And then at a certain point I just said, I'm gonna move to Poland and do this. And now I have this career in Poland. And in some ways I'm more successful in Poland than I ever was in Canada partly because I'm so unique. There's not many people like me, and people are open to including Jewish narratives. And I'm a strong enough actor that I don't feel uncomfortable being on any stage anywhere in the world. There's no actor that I think is better than me. This is a former house of study from before the war, so religious children would come here to learn the Talmud, learn Torah. You can even actually see the Torah means for the Torah. It's a very important building, very important symbol for our collective history. Let's go. So, this is actually just a set. This is a restaurant where an actual theater designer created these signs to make it look like the olden days, the times when the Jews were alive. And I suppose the signs might have looked something like this, but this is an interesting part of Kazimierz for me. And there is a contemporary version of Jewishness now here in Krakow. This is the location of one of the most important days of my life. It's the old synagogue, one of the oldest standing synagogue in all of Poland. And it's also where my wife, Magda, and I were married. We were married in a public wedding. We opened the door so that people could come in and see what a Jewish wedding was like. And I also really loved the synagogue because it was built in the 1400s. And I had never seen a synagogue that had been built in the 1400s. It's very Gothic and very beautiful. And I can feel the history of my people in this synagogue, and that's why we decided to get married here.
A Jewish wedding isn't something you see every day here. You have to find a place and a rabbi. There are very few Jewish weddings in Poland. Even creating a ketubah, an act of marriage, required effort. We had to find an artist. Eva Gordon made it for us. She's an exceptional calligrapher in Krakow. But we had to come up with all the ideas, such as that there would be griffins, which are these half-lion, half-eagle creatures. They're closely tied to Galicia, but also serve as a symbol connecting different worlds. The eagle, which is a symbol of Poland, and the lion, which symbolizes the Jewish people and the Jewish nation. So we had to work on every detail. Finally, we got married in the old synagogue, which now serves as a museum. But thanks to the curator's kindness, we were able to get married there. It was officiated by Rabbi Tanya Segal, the first woman rabbi in Poland. It was a significant, symbolic event, as it was likely the first progressive Jewish wedding in Kraków after the war. So it couldn't just be about having fun anymore. But it was still enjoyable, of course. It was a great event. Michael's family came. My family was there too, of course. A lot of guests came. We marched from the old synagogue down Szeroka Street with all the musicians to the venue where the wedding reception was held. And we kept celebrating until morning.
So, in a way, it was a kind of performance, but at the same time, kind of real, which is a nice way to encapsulate my life here in Poland. This is my home in Krakow, where I live with my family. It used to be a Jewish tenement building, and I've been living here for about 8 years. Come on in.
Mam pizzę mili.
Pizza na śniadanie? You want pizza for breakfast?
Nie mam pizzy mili. Mogę ci zrobić narzeczki. Chcesz? Jak chcesz z sosem, czy chcesz z serem?
We speak English because it was the only common language we had in the beginning. Now, Michael has learned Polish really well, but he still says I speak too fast and unclearly.
Garble, nie wiem, I don't know.
But there are also funny moments with Lev when he's with us, and I'll say something in Polish to him, and then he'll translate it for Dad, even though it's things that Michael already understands. But he feels responsible for keeping Dad engaged in the conversation, so he immediately switches and says the same thing in English.
My son likes to make fun of me, and he has this joke with me because the word for caterpillar is so different than gościenica. And he would always, Daddy, how do you say caterpillar? I'd be like, he was like, gościenica. I was like, okay. How do I remember this for the next time? And I was like, how do I remember? And then I have to create these connections in my brain. And so I had to remember the name Gosia. So I remember the name Gosia, and that's how I got to gościenica. But this is how my brain has to work for things. And then now what I really struggle with is the beginnings of things, the difference between przy, wy, po. This is hard. I never know which is the right one. I don't know which means which. Wyjechałem, przyjechałem. And dokonane and nie dokonane also is very hard. And I know these are all connected. It's really, yeah. It's very... Why not? Tell me, what is it? Ask mommy?
Ja nie pamiętam.
Mommy doesn't remember.
Ja się dawno tego uczyłam w szkole.
You're the only
Może
person who
opowiesz
knows.
tacie.
Tell me. If you don't tell me, I'll never know. What is the legend of the dragon?
Nothing.
Nothing? There's no legend of the dragon? I'm so sad that you won't tell me. Now I'll never know.
You're kidding.
And then when I came to Poland, I discovered that I was eating a lot of Polish food, constantly. There's a few things that I do know are Jewish, for sure, without question, like chałka. And it's amazing to me that you can get a better chałka in Poland than anywhere else in the world. The best chałka is in Poland. But this is like a 100% a Jewish thing.
Siadaj, jeszcze bluza pokemonowa.
Is it cold though?
No. Yeah, I think it's good in the cold. Chodź. Zakładamy bluzę. Takiej bluzy nie chcesz? Chodź, tata, założysz.
I tak to się nie zmieści.
No, ale będziemy próbować.
Nie.
Co ty na to?
Nie.
Może zawiążemy jeszcze.
Now I'm ready to go to school.
Alko, Lewek, poczekaj.
We understood that Poland is what we have in common, and that we're also a unique couple here, that there's something connecting us here. We share common interests, and he's discovering his roots and Polish history, which in a sense has been taken from him, this part of his identity, because his grandmother spoke Polish fluently and could quote pages from Mickiewicz and Słowacki from memory.
In general, Poland is a very beautiful country. I didn't have an image of Poland being beautiful. So when I go to the seaside, or when I go to the mountains, or I spend time in the cities, a city like Kraków, or cities that have this beautiful architecture, I'm surprised, and it also makes me feel this really lovely connection to my history. To know, oh wow, my people lived in a really beautiful country. This is a beautiful place. Oh, there's mountains. I'm just so used to Jews living in cities and not being connected to, beauty somehow. Up there?
You did it! You did it, Daddy!
I did it!
And look at his butt.
Look at his butt. Now I'm a real dragon.
You see his butt? It's... Oh. Wow.
What?
You can see... You can... Hey, look. What's that red thing in it?
Where? I think it's called a buoy. It's a buoy. You know, it's I don't know, it's for boats, so that the boats don't, so that the boats don't hit it. I don't know what it's there for. Maybe it's blood.
Because it looks boo. It almost sounds like boo, right?
Like boo, yeah, right. Cool.
Wiedzieliśmy, że taka droga jest, odzyskać
We
obywatelstwo.
knew there was a way to reclaim his
Ten proces się
citizenship,
zadział.
and
On
that
mógł się
process had
odbyć zarówno
begun.
poprzez babcię,
It
jak i
could be
przez
done
dziadka.
through either his grandmother
Ale
or his
zgodne
grandfather.
uwarunkowania prawne
But due to
pewnie
legal
dziadka
restrictions,
jest
his grandfather's
Wtedy
lineage was
było
much
tak,
more
że
secure,
kobieta
because back
automatycznie
then, a
otrzymywała
woman
obywatelstwo,
automatically received citizenship
swojego
from her
męża.
husband.
Oni się,
And since they got
brali
married
w
in
Szwecji,
Sweden,
no to tam było
there were
pewne
some
sankcje.
uncertainties. It was a long
Natomiast,
process. However,
był to
it also
długi
helped us
proces,
uncover
ale
many
też
interesting
pomógł nam odkryć
documents,
dużo ciekawych
family
dokumentów,
names that weren't
nazwisk,
necessarily known. And in
rodziny, które
fact,
niekoniecznie
we
były
managed to
znane.
secure his citizenship.
I faktycznie udało się to obywatelstwo uzyskać.
My family felt Polish. They felt Polish and Jewish, but my grandparents, they spoke fluent Polish and fluent Yiddish. They had Polish friends. They lived on this Polish land, and they loved living here. They loved living here. It was not easy all the time, but they had no plans to leave. Jews had no plans to leave. Once I started to understand that I was Polish, a Polish Jew, it made total sense for me that I would come to Poland to actually be myself. And I really wanted to. I wanted to learn the Polish language. I wanted to live here. I wanted my citizenship, which I now have. And I have my citizenship not through my wife, but through my grandfather. And this was very important. That I've been Polish my entire life without even knowing it.